Good morning, students. Last class we had started with AS11, that is effect of changes in foreign exchange rate, right? So this particular AS deals with three aspects, that is foreign currency transactions. You sell to a foreign customer, you buy goods from foreign supplier, you take loan from foreign bank. So we have completed foreign currency transaction part, and I remember that I have done two problems and I gave you 4 sums as homework. So first we will be discussing these 4 problems which was given as homework, and then we will be covering forward exchange contract, that is the second aspect to be covered in this AS, and the third aspect is foreign operations. And this foreign operation will be continued when we are doing branch accounting, right, in detail, in further more detailed manner, right? So question number 3 was homework, so let us read that. We will discuss. Okay. Soma Limited had imported raw materials worth $250,000 on 15th January when the exchange rate was 52 per USD. The company had recorded the transaction. Initial recognition is at the spot rate on the date of transaction. So 15 January spot rate is rupees 52 per dollar. Payment being made in on 15th of April, that is in the next financial year. So in between you will have year end balance sheet date. So you are going to restate such monetary items, that is foreign creditors. And on the date of payment exchange rate was 55. However, on 31st March the rate of exchange was 56. The company passed an entry on 31st March adjusting the cost of raw material consumed for the difference between 55 and 52. First of all, when you restate your foreign creditors, that is foreign currency monetary items, you have to take the balance sheet date exchange rate, that is 56, number 1. Number 2, whatever is the exchange difference, that will not be adjusted against the raw material consumed, it will be transferred to profit and loss account. So very simple. Question number 3, right? 15th January, 31st March and 15th April. Initial recognition will be at the rate rupees 52 per dollar. Then subsequent recognition will be at the rate 56 per dollar. So as a result, you can easily see that exchange difference will be on dollar 2,50,000 into 56 minus 52, that is rupees 10 lakh. And I repeat, it's a loss debited to PL. You have to pay more, right? Now when you are settling, so on the date of settlement, right, on the date of settlement, at the rate rupees 55 per dollar, so here the exchange difference will be 2,50,000 into 56 minus 55. Initially it was recorded at 52 rupees per dollar, but later subsequently revalued at 56 per dollar, that foreign creditors. We are talking about monetary item, that is foreign creditors. and then on the date of settlement the rate of dollar is decreased, so we will be paying less. On the balance sheet date we recorded this liability at 56 per dollar. Now on the date of payment we are paying 55 per dollar, right? So that is coming to rupees 2,50,000 gain credited to profit and loss account. So therefore the treatment of the accountant is incorrect. Whatever accounting treatment they have done, that is incorrect. The loss should be debited to PL, should not be adjusted with cost of raw material consumed. I guess this is absolutely fine. We have done so many examples and 2 problems last class. I think we did the same example. Okay. So now question number 4. That was also as homework. S Limited purchased equipment at a price of 1 lakh USD on 2nd April. Upon terms of credit, that price should be settled within 6 months from the date of purchase. Fine enough. The company capitalized the asset in Indian rupees at the date of exchange prevailing on the date of purchase. Okay, fine. When the liability is settled as per terms on 10th of September, just after 6 months, within 6 months you have to settle, right? So 2nd April you purchased, so it will be fixed asset account debit to foreign creditors, and it will be done at converted at spot rate. Right? 10th September settlement of foreign creditors, right? So when the liability is settled, it incurs an additional amount, so you have to pay additional. So you can easily see that there is an exchange difference of 3,50,000, right? And in this case you can easily say that the dollar rate has increased because I am paying more, that is why I am incurring exchange difference loss. Yes or no? So what is the treatment of this? It should be debited to profit and loss account. Now this foreign creditor is in respect of fixed asset, right? So their treatment is okay, no problem. Now there is one alternative treatment available. Many business enterprise, they will say that if I show an exchange difference of 3,50,000, whatever exchange difference arise in foreign currency transaction, that will be debited or credited to PL. So this exchange difference is in relation to fixed asset purchase. So whenever there is any difference, exchange difference due to relation of fixed asset, if against this I would have purchased inventory, then this alternative option would not have been available. Try to understand. Since this foreign liability, this FCMI is in relation to fixed asset purchase, then only you can exercise this alternative treatment. And it is the option at the enterprise. It is at the option of the enterprise that the enterprise can go for this. But in accounting standard 11, it is clearly mentioned that exchange difference will be debited to PL. The question is absolutely correct. The treatment done by the accountant is absolutely okay. Whatever exchange difference that has occurred on payment of this foreign creditor that has been debited to PL, it is absolutely correct. If exchange difference is in relation to fixed asset, then there is one alternative treatment available. If I would have purchased inventory, then while settling this foreign creditor, whatever exchange difference arise, that will be debited or credited to PL. Only and only if it is fixed asset. Right? So alternative treatment says exchange difference to be adjusted with cost of fixed asset, and accordingly depreciation of future year should be revised. If business enterprise is of the opinion that if I show this entire exchange difference in my profit and loss account, then my profit and loss account will move to a negative side, or a deficit it will show. So that is why only in respect of fixed asset I can have this alternative treatment available. That too I have to exercise. And the fact that I have opted for alternative treatment should be disclosed. You all might have done accounting standard 1. Whatever accounting treatment, whatever accounting policy you are following, the fact must be disclosed. So you are following a different type of accounting treatment. Usually exchange loss will be debited to PL, exchange gain will be credited to PL. However, if exchange difference is in respect of fixed asset purchase, you are revaluing foreign creditors only. You haven't revalued your fixed asset, because this fixed asset is non-monetary. Only monetary items are revalued. Right? We revalue only monetary items. Fact must be disclosed that enterprise has opted for alternative treatment. So whenever is the exchange difference, gain or loss, it should be adjusted with PL. However, if that exchange difference is in relation to fixed asset purchase, there is a foreign creditor because I have fixed asset purchase, then that exchange loss can be debited to fixed asset. If there's a loss, balance of fixed asset will increase. If there's a gain, balance of fixed asset will decrease. And accordingly, depreciation of future year should be revised. And the fact that you have followed an alternative treatment, that must be disclosed in your notes to accounts. Is that fine? So what is the treatment of exchange difference of FCMI? So this is exchange difference of FCMI, foreign currency monetary item, but is in relation to fixed asset purchase. Then you have this alternative treatment available, that whatever is exchange difference, that you can adjust with the cost of the asset, and accordingly depreciation will be revised. I guess it's absolutely fine with all of you. Okay. Right? Now, question 5. 31st March, the rate is, this is balance sheet date, right? $61.20. Sometime earlier I have done initial recognition at the rate 58.50 per dollar, and that amount is, foreign debtor amount is 5 lakh. So what will be USD amount? If 5 lakh was the initial recognition in Indian rupee and the spot rate was 58.80, so what was the dollar amount of that transaction? 5 lakh divided by 58.5, that comes to $8547. I guess this is no problem. So this foreign debtor is initially recognized at 5 lakh rupees and the conversion spot rate was, this is spot. So you can get the dollar amount. Now this foreign debtor will be subsequently revalued on the balance sheet date at the then spot rate. Right? So I can calculate exchange difference $8547 into 61.20 minus 58.50. So that comes to 61.20 minus 58.50. 2.7 into 8547. 23077. So rupees 23077. Right? What it is? It is exchange gain, because foreign debtors, right? So it is better that dollar rate has increased. Exchange gain credited to profit and loss account. This was part A. Part B also same, that's a loan. The dollar rate has increased, that will be shown as a loss debited to PL. So initial recognition of this foreign debtor in Indian rupee is 5 lakh. And the then spot rate was earlier 58.5. So what was the dollar amount? The billing was done in this dollar amount, yes or no? The billing was done in foreign currency, but foreign debtor is recognized in Indian rupee by converting at the then spot rate. Right? So you know Indian rupee converted figure and you know exchange rate spot. So you get to know the billing amount. Now on the balance sheet date, you are going to revalue this foreign debtor, right? FCMI. I guess this is absolutely fine with all of you. Now question number 6. Very simple. I have done these type of problem with you all, so I'm not going to do it. Just I'll tell you the answer. Initial recognition of foreign creditors and the journal entry is purchase account debit to foreign supplier. Right? So that is 60,000 into 54 it will be. Then on the balance sheet date, that is 30th September. The rate has decreased, so I'm going to show gain. Right? It is like $60,000 into 54 minus 53.85. That comes to $9,000 credited to PL. Now foreign creditor is now revalued at 53.85. Now on the settlement date, that is 31st of December, it will be loss because the dollar rate has increased. So it will be 55.4 minus 53.85. $93,000. So in the last financial year, you revalued, the dollar rate increased, so there was a gain, and again on settlement it increased. So now again you are showing loss, right? So these were the 4 sums for homework, right? All these problems have come in your past examination. Now you can just have a look at question number 7. That is very easy. On 1st January I borrowed and I will repay on 30th June. In between you will have 31st March, right? So initial recognition of this foreign loan will be done at 54, then subsequently revalued at 54.5. So 50 paisa per dollar is the loss. So into $5 lakh, so 2,50,000 you have exchange difference law debited to PL, and then settlement it's again increased by 25 paisa. So 1,25,000 again we have to show more loss at the time of settlement. Right? And part B, if it is settled before the year end, then directly you are going to show initial recognition at 54, and 20th Feb before the year end it is settled. So no subsequent recognition at the balance sheet. Straight away, if it is settled before the year end, then straight away from 54 to 54.2, directly we will show the exchange difference loss of 1 lakh, that is 20 paisa per dollar into 5 lakh dollar. So this type of problem I have done many times, right? So I'm not doing it. So we can take this as homework, right? Now question number 8, we will do classwork. Just read it. Just go through with question number 8. Now A Limited purchase fixed asset costing rupees 109.98 lakh. Right? So it is given in Indian rupee. The same was fully financed by a foreign loan, and it is payable in 4 annual equal installment. Okay. Exchange rate on 1st January was 54.99. So 1st January, amount of foreign loan, it is 109.98 lakh, and this conversion was done at 1st January spot rate. The spot rate on 1st January is rupees 54.99 per dollar. So it will be converted using 54.99 back calculation. So 109.98 divided by 54.99. So that comes to $2 lakh. Right? Okay. The first installment, 4 equal installment, na? So the first installment on 31st, amount of first installment paid on 31st December, and outstanding loan on 31st December. Right? So first installment paid, this divided by 4. So when you pay the first installment, you have to pay $50,000, and the balance will be $1,50,000. But remember, you don't report transaction in foreign currency, right? Initially this loan is recorded at equivalent Indian rupees using the spot rate of 1st January. So you came to know the foreign currency loan. So 1/4 is to be paid and the 3/4 is to be carried forward. Now both this 50 and 150, total 2 lakh, is recorded at what? Both are initially recognized at the rate rupees 54.99 per dollar. Right? I guess it's absolutely fine with all of you. You purchased a fixed asset for 109.98 lakhs. So that is the amount to be financed. So your foreign loan proceeds should be 109.98. So divide by the spot rate. It means if you take a loan of $2 lakh, convert into Indian rupee, you get this much loan. 4 equal installment, annual, divide by 4, 50,000 per installment. So on 31st December you will pay the first installment, remaining will be reported on balance sheet. Anyway, due to settlement and outstanding foreign loan, both should be revalued. Exchange difference due to settlement $50,000 into 54.99 minus the dollar rate on the balance sheet date have decreased, so you will be paying less. And due to reporting, the one which will be reported on the balance sheet is same. So 54.99 minus 52.61, 2.38, right? So total gain on $4,76,000. Right? So settlement is also revalued at 52.61, and reporting will also be revalued. So it's a beneficial situation for us because dollar rate has decreased. Sorry, dollar rate has decreased. Right? So these are the questions on foreign currency transactions. Right? I guess things are very clear to all of you. Okay. Now we'll be taking second part, that is forward exchange contracts. Basically it is used as hedging tool. Right? Now let me give you a very small example. Suppose On 1st July, I have purchased goods for $10,000. It means dollar means I have purchased from a foreign supplier. Okay. Now the spot rate is say 50 per dollar. So what is the initial recognition? Initial recognition. Foreign creditors 5 lakh, 5 lakh. Is that fine? This is my initial recognition. Now this is payable after 3 months from now. It means it will fall due on 30th September. Right? Sir, first of all, it is recorded in Indian rupee. Initial recognition is done by converting this foreign creditor using spot rate. This is the first part of the story. So, after 3 months, I have foreign currency payable $10,000. And this particular transaction I have initially recognized at spot rate. That we normally do. If you enter into a foreign transaction, foreign currency transaction, you initially recognize it at spot rate. Now, I am afraid of dollar is increasing day by day. I am afraid of that. So, I am afraid of dollar getting increased. Right? This is the second part of the story. So, I enter into a forward contract to buy $10,000 at the rate rupees 52 per dollar after 3 months from now. Right? So basically what I have done, since I am afraid of dollar increasing, so I have entered into a forward contract to buy at 52 per dollar. Okay? Today I have entered. Now whatever be the dollar price, if dollar is at 49, still I will get 52. I will be getting it at 52. If dollar is 52, no problem, I am getting it at 52. If dollar is at 55, I am getting it at 52. For this particular system, for this particular situation, I have hedged myself before. right? So what is the situation? I have $10,000 payable after 3 months from now. Right? I'm afraid of dollar getting rise, so I'm doing a forward contract to buy at 52. So if you compare initially, today the spot rate is 50 because initially we converted at 50, right? So spot rate is 50, and if I would have been buying today. Now if you are studying finance, right, derivatives, then many will say, sir, why you are making a contract to buy at 52 per dollar? Just understand, this is there in your CA final. After three, why can't you buy $10,000 today at the rate rupees 50? Because if I compare this 50 to initially you will see that I am incurring a loss of 2 per dollar. So many students will say, sir, why can't you buy $10,000 today at the rate 50? My dear friends, if I block $10,000 buying today at 50, but I have payable when? I have payable when? After 3 months. So if I am blocking rupees 5 lakh today, I have to borrow this. So that can yield me an interest cost. So it may my overall costing can become 52, 53, 54, right? So there is some relationship between the spot and the forward rate that you are going to study in forex, right? Finance management, not now. So you are not going to think from this point of view. This is not your concern. You are an accountant. So what are you going to think? Sir, agar if you would have bought today, no question of if you would have bought today, because if you buy today, your money will be blocked today and it's payable after 3 months from now. When do you pay your electricity bill? Once it is due, because you get your salary at month end. And if you have to pay in advance, in that case you have to borrow. So that borrowing leads to interest. So principal plus, anyway you have to repay that borrowing. So when principal plus interest, when you repay, then amount can be more. Right? So there are a lot of relationship between this forward and spot, that is known as interest rate parity or purchasing power parity, that you are going to study in forex management, but that is not a matter of concern of accounting. Initially I have entered into a contract to buy at 52 and it's available today at 50. So initially if I compare this spot with 3-month forward, I am having a loss of 2 per dollar. So this is known as deferred premium. I am paying more as compared to today. So on $10,000 I have contracted to buy at 50, whereas the today's spot rate is 50. So as a result, I have incurred a loss of 20,000 initially. If you see, right? So what is the journal entry you are going to show? Very simple. Forward contract receivable to forward contract payable. Now this is fixed. Forward contract payable is fixed. I have to pay 5,20,000 to buy $10,000 after 3 months. Now what is receivable? If I buy and sell it today, say for example I buy at 52 and sell today. I know that there is a timing difference. I'll buy after. Let us assume, because since you have shown this loss, right? 50 rupees dollar you contracted to buy after 3 months at 52. So you are paying a premium, na? You are paying a premium, right? Now what is the advantage of this? That you will understand. Just wait. So I am afraid of dollar getting rise, so I have contracted to buy at 52. So initially if I compare it with my spot, I have a loss, and this loss is known as deferred premium. I am paying more in comparison to today. I am paying more in today's comparison, right? So when you buy $10,000 after 3 months, you have to pay 5,20,000, and if you sell it spot today, you get 50 only. So difference will be your deferred premium account, 20,000. Is that fine? You buy at fixed rate, sell at then spot rate. Simple. Buy at fixed rate. You will buy at fixed rate. I will buy at fixed. Sell at this spot. Now, is that fine? Now what happens on the settlement date? On the settlement date, the spot rate turns out to be 53 per dollar. So first of all, I buy at 52, right? I buy at 52, sell at 53. So I have shown my receivable, if you see carefully. Treat this as FCMI. Yes or no? Treat this as FCMI. Hello? Is that fine?